Yes.
Good. Then,
This is fun.
isn't it? I think it is. Okay.
It's not like you were jumping on the...
Okay, so I'll say hello and then we'll just kind of jump into it, right? Hello, everyone. So this is different from anything else I've ever done. I'm going to do an interview, and I have never done an interview before. I have a very special guest. This should be really interesting. So would you like to start by introducing yourself?
Sure. I'm Riza Rasco. I am a world traveler, like Thor, and I'm here to. I just came from my last country, not my last country, my penultimate country, which is Tuvalu.
What did you say there? Penultimate?
Penultimate.
What does that mean?
It's the second to the last country.
Penultimate.
Penultimate.
Learning already.
So anyway, I am originally from the Philippines, but I also have two other citizenship. I'm also an American and a British citizen, so I travel using 3 passports, which makes it a little bit easier compared to some others. And I what else? I have a professional career. I'm a bioengineer, and I moved into intellectual property management later on in my life. What else?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
That's already very impressive.
Good.
So you have multiple nationalities, but originally you are Filipino to the core, to the bone.
Yes.
You're missing one country from visiting all the countries in the world.
Correct.
You recently went to your penultimate country.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Tuvalu.
Tuvalu was your penultimate country? Okay. Great. I think we know a little bit about who you are now. Let's go to the questions. We have prepared a lot of questions. The first one is, what are some of the challenges you face traveling as a woman?
Oh, well, I think the challenges that I have encountered are really gender agnostic.
Right.
You know, they're not specific to me being a female.
No?
They're just generally what travelers kind of experience. And
What kind of challenges could that be?
what kind of challenges? Well, like going to enter land borders of certain countries. Say you're in Africa and
Yeah.
you encounter the same difficulties of having to deal with a lot of corruptions and bribery.
Right.
They would ask bribe whether you're a man or a woman.
Right.
And hiking and going to difficult places, war-torn places, and countries in active war. I don't think that has ever stopped me for being a woman to
Yeah.
go to those places. So I would say that some of the difficulties I've had, for example, going to the Middle East, where women are treated more like a secondary citizen.
Right.
That goes more because that's the culture of the region.
Okay.
That's not because I'm a female traveler.
Right.
And so.
But they treat you differently because you are a female traveler. So they ask you to cover your hair, or there are some
Exactly.
places you can't go, or.
Yeah, there are certain places like in the Middle East region where women are not welcome. Say in certain tea shops where where men usually hang out. You certainly feel not welcome to enter those places.
Okay.
I guess that's really where I would say I have felt discriminated as a woman.
Yeah.
But as I said, that's because that's linked to the culture and tradition of the region. It's not because I'm a woman I'm specifically a female traveler.
Yeah.
It's just more connected with the culture. I'm not taking any risk. Let's put it that way.
Right. And how about advantages? Do you see any advantages of being a woman when you're traveling?
There's certainly a lot of advantage. I mean, there's a lot of parts of the world where women are treated still with a lot of respect.
Yeah.
When you go to Europe, you have gentlemen who still hold the door for you as a woman.
That's nice.
And when you go to certain parts of Asia and Africa, when men see you're carrying heavy things, they still would come and help you out.
Yeah.
Or if they see you standing in a bus, they would offer their seats, and just nice things like that. There's perks. I would say there are more perks of being a woman really than
disadvantages?
Disadvantage based only from my own
your experience, of course. Well, I'm talking to you. Let's go to the next question. So, I like this one. Most well-traveled people dislike the question, what is the best country? Why do you think that is? And how do you reply to people when they ask you, what is the best country?
I always say that's really a very difficult question.
Yeah?
Because absolutely every country, every place on earth has something good to offer.
Yeah.
There is no place in this world that meets all your preferences and all your requirements.
Yeah.
Right? So my mindset is when I go to a place, I would enjoy the place for what it can offer me.
Right.
Yeah. So just take what's good about the place and enjoy it, and that's why it's a difficult question for me, because that's what I tend to do.
How many countries are you going to?
How many countries that I?
Yeah, what's your number for every country in the world? How many countries are you going to?
I've been to 192 countries.
And that was your penultimate country?
That's my penultimate out of 193 United Nations countries.
Right. So when people they come and say, what is the best country from 192? Then really your answer is that there's so much good in all the countries around the world.
Yeah, there's so much good. I mean, I can name a few, but like Ethiopia, maybe, Rwanda, New Zealand. It's just too many.
The list keeps going on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Then suddenly you remember that you met someone nice in one country and you name that country, and then you remember there's one in Asia, and then you remember there's one in the Pacific, and then suddenly you mention 50 countries.
Yes, easily 50 countries. I could just, sit here and use all the time to name all those countries.
Let's continue to the next question. Good answer. What is the most common question you get from people when you tell them you're traveling to every country in the world?
The most common question are two questions, really.
Okay.
It is, how many countries are there? One, and two, how do you finance it? How do you pay for it?
Yeah, where does the money come from?
Exactly. Those are common questions.
Well, those are actually good questions. So let's start with that. How many countries would you say there are in the world?
Oh my God! So we know that's 193 UN countries.
Correct. Yeah.
I think the number I've seen is like 260, 266.
Yeah.
If you include all the non-UN countries.
And dependencies and territories.
Well, more like sovereign states that are not part of the UN, breakaway states.
Right.
I think there's about 206. I might be wrong, but
it's a hard question to answer.
I'm not looking beyond 193 right now.
No, fair enough. And how do you pay for it? Where does the money come from?
Well, I'm not a commercial blogger.
No.
As you know, Thor, and so I'm not trying to make money out of blogging, and I have I mean, I have a professional career.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So I have.
So you worked and you
I
put
have.
money aside.
Exactly. I studied first,
Yeah.
studied very hard, left my country, left the Philippines, and built a career.
Right.
First in the UK, then in the United States. I saved.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't have children. I don't have children, so
That
that's a big.
saves some money as well.
That's a big savings.
No smoking,
No,
no bad habits.
no bad habits.
Yeah.
Not into drugs or, a glass of wine here and there. I
Right.
love wine. I don't smoke. I don't have any expensive habits. I don't gamble. So I truly have
It's
saved.
self-financed.
Yeah, invested.
Yeah.
I bought some properties, a couple of properties that are now generating a passive income.
Oh, that's great.
Through rentals. So I kind of live a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Not enough to cover my travels, but yeah, and that's essentially what I've done. I worked first and saved, and now I can travel a little bit, and
Right.
and I probably will go back to earning more money after my 193.
I think a lot of us have to afterwards. All right, let's move on to what is your final country and when do you think you will reach it? So again, I love that word. Penultimate country was Tuvalu.
Tuvalu.
You just came back,
Yeah.
and your final country is
My final country is North Korea.
North Korea. Is
Yeah.
it difficult to go to North Korea?
It isn't really, and I didn't pay much attention to North Korea. I mean, I didn't prioritize it
Yeah.
earlier on because I thought North Korea is so easy.
Yeah.
Because all you need to do is sign up for a tour,
Yeah.
pay for it,
Yeah.
and get your visa for China.
Right.
And I don't even know if you need a visa separately for North Korea or
If you sign up for the tour and pay for it, then they will get the visa for you for North Korea.
Yeah. So exactly, that was easy. Unlike in most countries I visit, that I really research, study where I'm going to.
Yeah.
You can't really do that in North Korea because they predetermine where the places that you're going to visit over there.
Yeah.
So I thought it was gonna be easy, but that was pre-pandemic. And
So the pandemic got in your way.
pandemic got in my way as yours in a big way, in a much bigger way, and so North Korea, when the borders open, I'll be in there.
And do you have any idea, or could it be 10 years from now, or do you think it could be next year?
God, I hope not. The word is, it's just through the grapevine, that China and North Korea may open during the first quarter of next year, 2023.
Okay, so there's hope that you'll complete in 2023.
If they do, I'm there because I'm hanging out in the Philippines,
Yeah.
living with my dad, waiting for North Korea to open up. So I'm
what a
close
final
enough.
country. What a finale. I love that. Okay. So, what else do we have here? Is there anything you cannot travel without?
Oh, yes. One thing clear in my head is dental floss.
Dental floss. Yeah. Well, you have a lovely smile, so that goes.
Thank you.
That goes together.
But yeah, dental floss.
Yeah.
I have to have dental floss. I have to.
Right.
It's
So if
just
you're going to Syria or to Congo or if you're going to North Korea, we know that you're carrying dental floss.
Yes, I always have dental floss. I have to floss my teeth before going to bed.
Right.
It's just a habit that.
That's a great answer. I love that.
I'm sorry that.
No, that's good. That's good.
really
I
not
bet-
very exciting.
I bet there was
answer.
nobody out there who was expecting the answer would be dental floss. I love that. Okay, what else do we have? What is your focus when you travel somewhere new?
If you've followed my journey around the world through different countries, you would see that my focus is really going deep into the culture
Yeah.
and spending time with the local people.
Yeah.
And tribes are my favorite. And so I tend to blend in. I love blending in. I tend to wear the women's traditional clothing
Yeah.
whenever I have a chance. You don't always get the chance to do that, but I try to create an opportunity that I could do that, and so I dress the women's outfit, and then try and perform their task at home and in
Okay.
their communities.
So you're a really deep traveler. You really dive deep into the culture and try to connect with people, and
I try to engage. So
Yeah.
engagement is very important for me.
that's fantastic. So you're not about just going to the airport, ticking it off, and then going to the next place.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know, Thor, I come from the Philippines, where
Yeah.
this is an ultimate privilege to be able to travel. Not many Filipinos are able to travel like I do.
Right.
And so the message I would like to send out to them is when you do get a chance to travel, you know, make the most of it. Learn as much as you can, and you know, do not waste the opportunity. Do not waste your money, because you know, education. I got here because of education.
That's right. That's a nice message.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. Well, we're at the last quarter of our questions now. From all of your travels, what are some valuable lessons that you have learned?
In my travels,
Yeah, have you learned anything from traveling as much as you have?
yes, I believe so. So, you know, I'm a scientist, right? As I told you, and my second career is in intellectual property management. So these are hard sciences, hard
Fact-based.
fact-based,
Yeah,
structural-based,
right.
and because I'm dealing a lot with business and law,
Yeah,
as well as science. These are hard subjects. So I grew up and I was trained by my parents, who are also scientists, to be to remove your emotions. Remove. It's all about the mind. You
Right.
know, think about things.
observe and analyze.
Observe, analyze. You know, my travels have developed more the softer skills for me.
Oh,
You know, being able to interact more with people, understand, be more empathic about their conditions.
Right.
Whereas before, I would be performing my job and it's all about the goal,
Yeah.
you know, the result, and less about, you know, the people around me and how they feel about,
Yeah.
you know, this drive to achieve something. But travel has changed me a lot. It made me
a more
definitely
full person. Yeah.
I think so. I'd love to believe that,
Yeah.
or at least I'm a work in progress, being more of a whole person in that respect,
Yeah.
with more soft skills developed.
What a wonderful answer. That's amazing. Okay, so then I guess we already have the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you think traveling the world has changed you for the better or for the worse?
Oh, absolutely for the better,
Yeah.
for the reason I just told you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm here and an ambassador for travel.
Yes.
And you know, I lead an organization, the Philippine Global Explorers.
Yeah.
We're motivating, encouraging everyone to explore the world and learn and educate themselves.
The Philippine Global Explorers.
Yes.
We'll add a link to that, and people, they can go and find the Philippine Global Explorers if they want. Let's get to the last questions. What has been the hardest country to reach for you? 192 countries.
Yeah, I would honestly say there was no difficult country for me to reach.
Not a single one?
Not a single one. I have not been denied any visa.
Oh, which visa took the longest time?
The longest time was actually Nauru.
Nauru, yeah.
Nauru, which took me close to 2 months to get. But it's not difficult, you know. It just requires patience.
But it's more difficult than going to Germany.
Yeah, relatively difficult, but I would say, you know, nothing was really difficult. I'm fortunate, as I mentioned, because I travel with 3 passports.
Yeah.
So I have Philippine, UK, and American passport, and any one of those would work in any country. And it's such a privilege to have them. You know, I wasn't born with 3 passports, by the way. I worked hard. I worked my socks off to be able to earn those passports.
Yeah.
You know, I left my country and migrated to Europe, to the UK, and you know, I went through all the you know, adjustments that a typical immigrant would go through.
Yeah.
Moving to a new country that is entirely different from, you know, where you come from. And then I moved again as a second immigrant to the United States, and readjusted again as an immigrant. So, you know, and people tell me, "Wow, how lucky you are! You have 3 passports."
You worked for that luck.
I worked for that.
So now I'm curious, which passport was harder to get, the British, the UK passport, or the American passport? No difference?
No difference, because I was living and working in each of these countries as I was trying to obtain my citizenship and eventually my passport.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter when I would get them, because I was in the country, I had residency, and I was just focused on my work.
Right.
And then when they came, you know, I was grateful and great. But
Good on you.
no difficulty, because you know, I just had to be patient.
Right.
And when it came, it was.
Good for you. I'm happy. So this question was added by Ultra Wifey, my wife.
Yeah, who I really look forward to meeting one day.
Someday you have to. She wants to know, why are you doing this? What is driving you? Why go to every country in the world?
It's for the love of exploring, and I've always been an adventurous person.
Right.
So I have memories of, as a child, my mom. I was always in trouble with my mom, particularly when, you know, she couldn't keep me at home.
Yeah.
I was always out somewhere and really doing dangerous stuff, like playing on a railway.
Okay.
With,
So we're lucky to have you here.
my mom never knew that I was actually playing on the railway with the railway kids close to where we were living at the time. And, you know, we would play and we would push this cart on the railway, and when the train arrives, it would scramble to get out and, you know, lift this you know, this trolley that we were using to play with. And so I as a child, I've always been adventurous. I love to climb trees.
But let me ask you then. So you set yourself the goal to go to every country in the world. Very, very few people have done this. Less than 300 people for sure have been to every country in the world. Less than 10% are women. So maybe 25 to 30 women have been to every country in the world. Why did you pick that goal? Why not say, I want to go to every island in the Philippines? You have more than 7,000 islands. This should keep you busy for a long time.
Yeah.
Why every country?
You know, because I didn't start off by counting countries. When I migrated to Europe, you know how Europeans are. They love to use their vacation to travel to another country.
Yeah.
I kind of learned that while I was living in the UK, that, you know, what you do on your vacation, you know, you go to France, you go to Germany. And so I learned that when I was in Europe, traveling to different countries.
And then you saw the country count going up?
Yeah,
or-
and the country count just went up and up. And then when I reached 100, and I thought, oh, wow, you know, this is a clear milestone of
Yeah.
100. But how many countries are there actually?
Exactly.
193.
Yeah.
And so, and then I thought, well, it's doable. And then finding out that, you know, and meeting my tribe of people
Yeah.
who were trying to reach that goal.
These crazy people.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. And then, and plus my restlessness, Thor, I'm a restless person. I like movement. I like to move.
Yeah.
I think that this all and I'm goal oriented.
Yeah. And for some reason, the video just cut out there. I don't know what happened to the last 5 minutes of our interview. There were just 2 questions left. For good order's sake, I was also going to ask her, you're almost done with every country. Will you use this experience for something? And Riza, who's now on an airplane on her way back to the Philippines, she had a really nice reply to that and told me about how she wanted to inspire people to travel and share stories around the world, and she's part of several initiatives in the Philippines, so that's great. And then I asked her, which personal qualities do you think are essential for reaching every country in the world? And she had a really nice answer to that as well, which also isn't featured here because for some reason the last 5 minutes just kind of, I don't know, technical problems. But I think the essence of what she said was that you really need to be persistent. You really need to go after it. That's a key element in trying to accomplish most goals here in life, and certainly for reaching every country in the world. And then I said, is there anything you would like to share with those watching? And I forgot what she said, but I'm sure it was nice. Riza is a really, really nice woman. But probably just encourage you people to travel, go out and meet people and see the world. Yeah. And then I said, where can people find you? Obviously not here, because we recorded this 5 hours ago, and then we shut the camera off and we went out and had lunch, and then she got in a taxi and went to the airport, and I came back and discovered that the last 5 minutes are missing for some reason. That's a bit annoying, but you can find her on Instagram, and she's very humble about her content on Instagram, but I think it's great. You just have to look up Riza Rasco. And the same for Facebook. She has a private account, but it's open, and you can go and see the content that she shares on Facebook, Riza Rasco. And then there's this initiative that she is a part of in the Philippines, where they have 9,000 travelers a year, and it's called Philippine Global Explorers. I think that's what it's called. But I'll add that, including the links to her Facebook and her Instagram, in the section, and you can just go and find her. I think you should do that. Thank you so much, Riza. That was wonderful. I enjoyed having that first interview, which was a huge success. Nothing went wrong at all. And thank you for being so kind. Just one country, go out and get it. I believe in you. And you guys, thanks for watching.